up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, though, people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Man.
Let's go, baby.
Listen, look at the backdrop. It continues to change. We are at the beautiful Wingate Country Club. The beautiful. This is presented by Randy Wise. This is part of the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, and it is the 8th annual Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic.
We're here supporting a legend, the Kirk Gibson Foundation. This is going to be an incredible day out here at Wingate. And what a big weekend for football and baseball. We know Kirk's first loves. He's the Michigan State football star before he started in the big leagues. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here on a Monday with you guys. It's the WUW Crew. We're here.
Hey, I'm fired up.
Fired up.
This was a good weekend. I got to say good. I want to say great. But the weekend encompassed the Tigers doing some good things, but still going nowhere. And the Lions doing some good things, but it's still preseason. But I feel like with both of these teams, man, there are some definitive statements that we can take away from both of those teams.
Oh, you know it. It was just preseason game 2, but like we were talking about 60 seconds ago, there are some takeaways from it, some things you can learn. And on a general scale, the youth movement has hit Detroit, all 4 teams, and I'm excited. I'm excited for sure about 2 of them that we're watching right now. Next is the Red Wings, and then next is the Pistons. Or maybe it's reversed. But still, the youth movement is here, and I couldn't be more excited about watching these Tigers for the next six weeks.
Hey, you know what? As time goes, every day I'm getting more and more comfortable with every single one of the front offices here right now. And that, it makes me a little bit more comfortable. So even though some of these teams are not going to be winning right away, I at least know that I can trust in the direction a little more than some of the previous attempts. But, hey, what up, though, people? As always, chat family, you all are the most important part of this entire Wake Up Woodward production. Go ahead and smash that like button to support the WUW Crew. It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter for the network. And this here is Mathieu Broder, your credential Tigers, and he's our Lions writer and reporter for the network.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. We got a good show planned. Shout out to you, Tammy Chin, Freddie Felt 313. I think you're on the way here. We might see a Freddie Felt appearance.
Hey.
Mike Reed, QT, Greg B29 in the chat. Everybody who's tuned in already, thanks so much for joining in. Khalil, you want to introduce this awesome crew we got?
I am, because it's a lot of people here that are working hard. As always, Woodward Sports doesn't run without the people who are making it happen, like intern Chase is in the building. What up, though? Hey, that dude, Justin on sounds. What up, brother? I love the shades, too.
Hey, thank you. It's a little sunny out here. Probably the best weather we've had for one of these, but
it's beautiful.
I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be a part of the WUW Crew, as per usual.
Hey, bro, it's a blessing.
It is, truly.
I would definitely I see Chase over there shaking his head as well, man. Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP. That is JB Smooth on TD. Yo, what's up? Oh.
That's not working.
But at least wave to the people, man. Get the people a wave, JB.
Oh, hold on.
I love stick.
This is the problem having an intern run sound. This is the problem, you guys. You gave KG the day off. He's taking low. No, come on. Just stop. I got this.
All right, can you send it back over to me?
There you go.
Hello.
Say what up, though, to the people.
All right. We're good. We're talking about death. I'm just happy to be here. That's it, man. That's it.
At least JB can recover for me. I appreciate you, JB.
Shout out to Stick, man. You guys see Stick in the building, too. And to our other brothers, Flannel Sam and KG. Can't wait to be back in the studio with you guys. But, hey, You don't let the people know what we talking about?
I would love to. I just have to tell Phil. Bless you, Phil. We're talking Lions and Tigers today. First hour, unless we see overwhelmingly in the chat right now, you want to start with Tigers? We're going to go Lions from 8:15 to about 9:15. Then we're going to finish off the show with Tigers because we got to talk about this weekend series against the Yankees, the series in general, but also the youth movement. Like, the kids are up in the bigs. We got to see some MLB debuts. We got to see them at the Little League Classic. I had a really good time just watching sports this weekend. I know you can tell from the smile on my face, but the fact that we got teams and we got a future in some of our most desired teams here in Detroit, I'm so ready for this fall. I'm so ready for this show. That's right.
You can say it. You're fired up.
I'm fired up. There
you go. You see, I haven't stopped cheesing just because it's that time of year. Even when I hit the air this morning, opened up the door, I was like, yo, this is football weather. On the way to a golf course right now, a beautiful golf course. Man, this drive into Wingate, are
stunning.
You kidding me?
I've never been here. This is maybe the most stunning golf course I've ever been to, the most stunning country club I've ever been to. It's
I drove
amazing.
in on one elevation, got out the car and looked out, and it was like an entire plane in front of me. And it was beautiful, man. Water, hills, all of it. Can I live here?
There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room. And you know the Kirk Gibson Foundation, they do such a good job. Even when we got here at, around 7:15, they were set up. They were ready to go. Everything is organized. Like now it's just time to put on a show.
Hey, well, let's put on a show, brother.
Let's do it. Kool-Aid, I want to ask you, and I want to go around the crew. Who was your ruler of the weekend? Your ruler of the weekend. Who ruled it for you?
Hey,
Non-Detroit Lions. We're going to get into Detroit Lions winners and losers because we have Peaks and Cheeks coming up, a.k.a. winners and losers.
Let's go.
But non-Lions around sports. Who was your ruler?
Listen, I got to go with, as a unit, the Detroit Tigers. I continue to say that they stave off having the wheels completely fall off. We understand that this team is not destined to make the wild card. We were already talking about, look, when they kind of started their run, they were 6.5 back. They have won like 5 of 6. They've done really, really good, and guess what? They're 8.5 back right now. I don't even understand how that happens, but it just shows what's happening in front of them, where they have to get to. But it was absolutely fun baseball. If you're going to lose, if it's going to be, a tough stretch, at least do it like this. And this team is going out there and they're not folding up. They're not going home. And they're punching everybody and they're swinging at everybody. Like, it kind of is like Dan Campbell-esque. And that's what I like about this team right now and seeing the young players like you stated. I love it, man.
I love it. Justin, your weekend wooler.
My weekend wooler is actually someone I don't necessarily like, but he deserves it.
I love it.
I love this.
I'm an Idizzy Adesanya fan, and he got absolutely slapped by Dracus du Plessis and got submitted in the 4th round. I didn't expect it. Izzy looked great in the first 3 and 4 rounds, but Dracus put him in a bad spot and submitted him. So I'm going to give it to DDP this weekend. He put on a great performance to retain the UFC championship belt.
I love that. JB, weekend wooler.
Oh, man. Still on? All right, cool. We're good. Well, Justin kind of took mine because I was watching that UFC fight as well, too.
My bad.
I don't know if I want to give a shout-out to Drake for being the terrible better that he is, going 13 for 57, but I also got to give my wooler of the weekend to Mr. Post Malone. That album dropped, his new album, the country album. It's pretty good. You guys should go and check it out.
He's got some songs with, like, Morgan Wallen. Or some crossover, little hip-hop, little country.
Yeah, some crossover mix that he's got with, like, Hank Williams, Hardy, I think, as you said, Morgan Waller's on there as well, too. Luke Combs.
Love it.
Yeah, honestly, a nice compilation album of some country hip-hop kind of mixing together. Definitely check it out.
Honestly, this is the type of day that makes me enjoy country music. I used to hate it growing up until I got to college. We were playing, our warm-up CD at college baseball. Our coach, Rich Maloney, our coach, he had to sneak in a couple country songs into our warm-up because it's like 2.5, 3 hours we're out on the field. He snuck a few country songs in there. I was like, all right, it's not so bad.
Hey, listen, man, as we age, as we mature, our taste, it refines. So
it does.
I definitely feel you on that, man. As I've gotten older, there's been a lot of different music and a lot of different styles of music that have absolutely just kind of taken over my mind. EDM, dubstep. All that type of stuff. I know, Justin, you're big on that type of stuff, right? The EDM, the dubstep.
Yes, sir. That's my thing.
Mute Math, that's one that my brother's been telling me I got to be on, man. So
how about this?
I've never heard of Mute Math.
Check them out.
I will.
Yeah,
How about
dope.
this? JZJ, WUW-LER was Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark really giving it to the NBA, the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, I believe it was 23 points, 9 assists. Now has 232 assists, which broke the previous WNBA record of 224 set by Tisha Penicheiro back in 1998.
Look, she's a young GOAT already. And you know what I like about the WNBA? And I got to give it a little bit more credit than we have been. They finally are getting storylines that are drawing our attention.
Yeah.
But they're able to also pair that with talent. That's what I love. That's what Caitlin Clark represents to me. And a whole host of others that I know probably haven't gotten their just due shine. But Caitlin Clark is the one that's really the magnetism to it all. Now people are tuned in and they're able to see kind of, all right, there's some skill, there's some talent. But ultimately, and I know Stick will agree, we want the storylines. WNBA needs to be the wrestling of basketball, bro. And we've already seen how it's turned out with the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing.
I'm not opposed to that.
I love it.
My WUW-LER of the weekend, my weekend WUW-LER, Mr. and Mrs. Young, the parents of Josh and Jace Young, because those two, they had themselves a weekend. Josh, third baseman for the Texas Rangers, he went 4 for 13 on the weekend, but he had a solo homer in yesterday's game. They were down 4-0 in the 7th. Solo homer in the 7th to give him a little bit of energy. Then he had the walk-off single for the Rangers to beat the Red Sox, again, after being down 4-0 in the 7th. Andrew Chafin got the win for the Rangers after pitching a scoreless 10th. But then Jace Young made his MLB debut for the Detroit Tigers on Friday. Had 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, I believe. But yesterday had his first RBI of his career, a big one, a huge one. Was it in the 10th or was it? It was in the 10th, the 10th inning single, which tied the game at 1 with an RBI single. Again, his first of his career. He drove in Colt Keith, another young stud for the Detroit Tigers. I thought he played pretty good defense all weekend, too. Like, it didn't look perfect, but he made all the plays. There was one scoop on Friday from Spencer Torkelson. He needed his buddy to bail him out. But I thought Jace Young, for his first weekend, I'm impressed.
You know what? I'm absolutely impressed. You did say another name there, Torque.
Torque.
How do you feel about his return?
We are going to talk about it, but I saw some things to be optimistic about.
Dope.
What we need to do in the second hour when we talk Tigers is to make sure we all have the proper expectations of Torkelson, what to look for in these next 6 weeks, because there's a time frame we need to stick by, not to keep the pressure off of him, because we need him. Like, this Tigers team is different if he can start hitting. But we're going to talk about that around 9, I believe 9:15.
Yeah, I don't know why, but randomly, ADIS411, I remember Dimitri Young.
Dimitri Young was a stud. Didn't he started his career really hot with the Tigers, too, and Delman Young, too.
Delman Young.
Delman.
Wow.
Delman Young is a legendary pull right there.
Wow.
Shout out.
They're brothers, right? Yeah, they were brothers.
I believe so.
Yeah. I miss, there's something about the Detroit Tigers having one guy on the team that's, about 300 pounds, can hit it out of the park. Like, you need that beef.
Hey, need that beef.
What? You need
Fast
it.
Four.
Oh, yeah, we're on the golf course.
On the golf course. Hey, and look, man, when we do talk Tigers, I already showed you these already. He can verify I got the Tigers shades on. Hey, because you know what? They can do no wrong right now. Shout out to the Detroit Tigers. Shout out to the Young family as well.
Yeah, Tony D says Tigers are rolling. Good morning. Herb Nash, I'm not a fan, but dang, CC taking the WNBA to a whole new level. Ryan's reaction. Caitlin Clark is the Aiden Hutchinson of the WNBA, creating stats equal to pressures. Laugh out loud. Caitlin Clark, man, she's doing things. But let's get into some Tigers. Again, this is amazing. We're here at the Wingate Country Club for the 8th annual Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic. The stunning Wingate Country Club.
Hey, absolutely the best. And I can tell you guys about something else that's the best as well. Premier Pet Supply. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. They offer you the same conveniences of all the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30-plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply. Visit them online as well, premierpetsupply.com.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
And welcome back. Thank you guys for kicking off today with the entire, well, not the entire, Sam Flannel, KG, we love you guys, but most of the Wake Up WUW crew, chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this, so go on ahead and smash that like button. And brother, we have a guest with us here. Listen, we're at the 8th annual Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic. I would tell you a little bit more. Usually we kind of give a little bit more of a spill on this thing, but I think we have somebody else that can do that for us.
I think we do. With me is Cam Gibson, who's running the Kirk Gibson Jr. Foundation marketing, PR, social media. You've taken on a role. Cam, first off, thank you for having us here. I'm hoping you can just share a little bit about this event, what it means to you, what you're looking to accomplish. If you could share a little bit, that'd be great, Cam.
I appreciate you guys coming out. This is the 8th annual. It's a good chance for us to have a lot of the same people we see every year. They support us every single year through everything. They've been with my dad for a long time, but it's also good to meet a lot of new faces. A lot of people in the Parkinson's community come out and kind of get out there in that community that they didn't really know existed. So it's a good time. It's a good day, especially today. You got a nice little sunrise on the Morning Dew, Grateful Dead song. It's going to be a good day, great weather, and good people, man. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
No, we appreciate the invite, and thank you for the energy. I already told you that, man. Your energy, it is on one. How much did the Tigers have this weekend to contribute to that?
It was pretty good. I stayed up and watched the game yesterday, the Williamsport game, and it was pretty awesome. You know, I played behind Scooble to see him out there shoving against the Yankees. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable. And then you see a guy like Parker Meadows, one of the biggest beauties around. He ended it for him. I shot him a text after the game. You know, I love those guys. Jason Foley, Kerry Carpenter. You know, playing with those guys and seeing them succeed, that's a really good feeling.
And these are guys you played with coming up in the Detroit Tigers organization because you were an outfielder yourself. Tell us a little bit about that, and then what would it be like playing in the bigs behind Scooble? Like, you're in the outfield. I know it wasn't as big as the Comerica Park outfield, but you're in the outfield. Scooble's dealing. Are you just like standing in the outfield, just wondering, you know, what are you going to have for dinner?
Yeah, I mean, you're standing out. The pitching rotation for us was Scooble, Manning, Mize, Faedo. So it was pretty intense being out there. I mean, when we would go out there and I'd be standing out there, those were the boring days where I'm sitting out there and it's like the 6th or 7th inning. I'm like, trying to think, I'm like, damn, did I get a ball hit to me at all today? And you really, like, a lot of the times it was a no. Those guys, they could go out and they could just command the entire game.
Yeah. Well, Cam, I know I asked you about this event, but in terms of Parkinson research and the foundation really starting to take off, what does that mean to you as a son of someone a lot of Detroit sports fans have grown up with, learned to love, but you have a different relationship, obviously, as a son. What does this all mean to you? What are you looking for the community to accomplish with something like this?
Well, it's the people who followed my dad throughout his career and his post-career. It just means a lot that they stuck with him and they're sticking with him through this new kind of life that he's living and partaking in. A lot of our research, we see that movement really does matter with Parkinson's. It helps you combat the symptoms as well as you can to live a better day-to-day life, mentally and physically. And, he wakes up at 4 a.m. He gets and does his exercises, works on his speech, goes to the golf course, is golfing before anybody even is out there. He'll bowl at the end of the day. He'll play some ping pong and pool. And so he tries to get that message out through the foundation. And coming up here, there's going to be a lot of big announcements coming from the foundation with regard to a Parkinson's Wellness Center in the Metro Detroit area.
Wow.
That's a big project for us, and that's his vision that he wants to deliver to the community.
That's awesome to hear. My grandmother, I call her Grandma Dent. Her name was Barbara. She was a great, great, great woman. And towards the end of the later years of her life, she actually struggled with Parkinson's. Before we understood what it was, it took her out, man, in a way that it was very, very sad. So to see what your father is doing, this foundation, to bring the awareness as well as make sure that people can have a better way of life through this thing, it's definitely touching. It's awesome to not just see the effects, but to hear you talk about it, to see how proud you are about it, and to be involved in it as well.
Yeah, it's actually pretty wild. A lot of the people that come to us, they come to us kind of right after our diagnosis, and they're kind of like, I don't really know what to do next. And that's not something we can't have that. We can't have people with a huge life change thrown their way and then not knowing what the hell to do next.
Right.
So that's where we kind of wanted to step in, and with our future endeavors, we hope we can alleviate some of that stress for those people, and not just for the people with Parkinson's, but for the families, like yourself, like myself, and my whole family. We're going to do our best to supply as much as we can for the people with Parkinson's and their caregivers as well.
What's the number one thing that people who aren't familiar with what Parkinson's is, what's the one thing that you would tell them, whether they're dealing with it or in the early stages of a family member, just our audience out there? What is it? How does it affect you?
Well, it affects everybody differently. Most people will associate two things with it, and that's Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox, and like Muhammad Ali, tremors. But it's a lot more than that. Some people will have tremors, some people won't. Some people will slouch, some people's voice will get really soft. A big thing with Parkinson's is that people who get it and are new with it, they tend to not want to come out and talk about it. They more so get more reserved and keep it to themselves. And a big thing my dad did when he was diagnosed is he came right out. I think it was within days. He came out and he put a statement out, talked about how he's going to fight it. And there's people that work for us now within the foundation that, my dad's just walking down the street in Birmingham, and he'll see someone who's got their hand in their pocket and maybe it's shaking a little bit, and he can tell by the way they're walking. He'll go, "Hey, you have Parkinson's, don't you?" And they go, "Yeah, I do. How'd you know?" He's like, "I'm Kirk Gibson. I work at this foundation. I have this foundation here." And now they're on the team. So he really encourages people to not hide away with it, because that's just gonna help it progress. And his big thing is get out there and get moving. And that's what he wants to do with the Wellness Center in the next year, is create a community where people with it can go, like-minded people can just meet and be comfortable.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Amazing. If I guess I want to ask you one last question about the Lions, but on this topic, I need your prediction or just your outlook on the season. But where can people go to support the Kirk Gibson Foundation, or to go and just learn more about what you guys are doing?
So the KirkGibsonFoundation.org is the website. There's a lot of helpful information on that. And on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, we put a lot of instructional videos for day-to-day life.
Amazing.
Like workouts, ways to help you feel better in the morning or throughout the day. There's a lot of information on all that.
Awesome. Now to let you go off on a high note, the Lions. I know you're a football fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're a baseball
Season
guy,
tickets,
but
bro.
a football fan. What's your
go.
outlook on the season? You think it's Super Bowl or bust? You think, well, where's your head at around this Detroit Lions team?
I'm never going to put too much expectation on anybody. I believe strongly in MCDC. He's just, that's the kind of leader I want in a locker room. My dad is a huge fan of Dan Campbell. He loves him. And, guys like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, like a consummate professional, gets to the field, does his job, is respectful to everybody he encounters away from the field. That's the kind of, guy I want leading my team. Jared Goff is another one of those guys. And I think Dan Campbell has instilled that in those guys.
Hey, talk about it, man. You get me pumped up right
Bro,
now.
I love the Lions. I'm there every Sunday home game, losing my mind. Voice is gone after that. It's so much fun, but we've never really experienced anything like this before. And last year was truly, it was incredible to be a part of it.
Do you know how to act? Like as a fan? Like we've never been here.
It was like halfway between like crying and like just yelling at like the dude next to me. I didn't really know how to handle these playoff wins, but it was so much fun. And everybody was so pumped up, yelling at each other and from parking garages and stuff like that. I loved it, man.
Amazing. The energy in this city is wild. Cam, thank you so much for joining us.
Fellas.
Really appreciate being here.
I love you guys,
And
man.
it's Kirk Gibson Jr. Foundation.org.
KirkGibsonFoundation.org. Be there.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
all
you,
you
Cam.
guys.
Awesome. Brandon,
Appreciate you, Cam.
How great was that hearing Cam talk about what they have planned for the next year, talking about a wellness center? Like, the more I learn about this, it's things like that where you look at people who are going through it, families going through it. What are they going to do to make a difference moving forward? Like, I don't want to look down upon just research, but this is almost taking it to the next level. There's research, but there's also outlets for people who are going through these diseases, illnesses, with all due respect. To hear something like that they have planned coming up, amazing. That's something amazing.
It touches my heart when I hear them talk about identifying it and giving people the confidence and the courage to also fight it. My grandmother, she worked her whole life, and towards the end of it, she earned her retirement. But as these things started setting in, we noticed certain things, but we didn't know what it was at that point in time. And she just kind of, like he said, she withdrew. She had her favorite chair. She had her soap operas. She would record them when she couldn't watch them. And as life kind of progressed, we all went away to college. We came back, and we saw just how much it took from her. And at that point in time, we started to get a better understanding of what it was. And just that little bit, it helped to prolong her life just a little bit, man. Like, I'm telling you, for real, I pulled up the email when my dad was talking about it and all of that. And,
wow.
That's why I said, like, for real, like, being here, understanding the gravity of what this foundation is about and what this day represents, it's really touching, because Grandma was the one who walked me to kindergarten, took me to first grade, took me to my first time at Disney World, and gave me so many different opportunities while Mom and Dad were working like 2 shifts.
Right.
So
there's strength.
I appreciate this.
You saw a certain type of strength in your grandma.
Yeah.
There's a certain type of strength in one of the greatest athletes of all time, Kirk Gibson, Muhammad Ali. Like, it's things like this that can hit people and families when you least expect it, and it's all about how you deal with it, and the fact that they're sharing this message to people like me who haven't experienced that with an immediate family member, to learn about all the things that their family members are going to, or people can learn of. It's not just tremors. There are so many different aspects to it. It's really cool to be a part of it and help further this message. So
it's awesome.
What an amazing experience we have. Let's come back. Let's talk some Lions. We're going to get into the Tigers again in the second hour, but we got to talk about that preseason game.
Like Cam said, I felt it. He was like, I love the Lions.
Yeah.
I love the Lions.
He was a good we kind of glossed over it. Cam was a pretty sensational baseball player himself.
Oh, yeah.
What an athlete. What an athlete. So let's come back. Let's talk Lions. Before we go, JB, Juice, I'm going to need you. Where do you want to go? Over here?
Hey, you know
Talk
what?
about Lady Jane's Kool-Aid.
You know what? This course is awesome, and I can tell you about something else that's awesome. Is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. All you got to do is just stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's is wicked awesome.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
And what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Broder, man, what a start to the day.
What a start to the day.
It's electric, too.
It's beautiful. We're at Wingate Country Club
Tell them about
for the 8th annual Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic. And we have another special guest with us.
Yes, sir.
Another special guest. This is Steve Anier, the CEO of the Kirk Gibson Foundation. Steve, it's a pleasure to see you today. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having us out here.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here, fellas. I really appreciate you coming down here because it helps us shine the light on this disease and on the day itself. And I do go down to Lady Jane's in Birmingham. They're a great group of people. Look after it every time. So thanks for their support as well.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, it's wicked awesome. Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you for being here with us. And, I know that there's a lot we're going to talk about with you, a few things we're going to touch on. But just something that caught my ear. You're like an Iron Man out here.
Oh, well, I did the Detroit Marathon a couple of years ago to raise money for the foundation, and I'd always wanted to do a marathon. It's just, it was a lifelong sort of objective of mine, and being able to do it and also raise money for the foundation at the same time was a perfect combination. So, yeah,
Thank you.
A great day. It's an incredible event.
Sorry about that. We were just getting the music down in the background.
All right, okay.
But I know I want to ask you about the story. I just got a brief glimpse of the story of you meeting Kirk. But first, tell us about the foundation. I know Cam just gave us a lot about the personal side of the Kirk Gibson Foundation. But as the CEO, what is your mission and what are you trying to accomplish, both with the foundation in general and this specific golf outing?
Yeah, we know that the disease itself has a tendency. Cam spoke about the isolation it causes. Has a tendency to shut the body down, and movement and activity, exercise, is fantastic to improve the quality of life of people living with the disease. So the mission of the foundation is to provide those kind of programs to people that have Parkinson's disease. The problem is that most of those programs are not covered by insurance. So there's a lack of funding, there's a lack of coordination, there's a lack of provision. So we aim to fill that gap, particularly in Michigan, Kirk's home. So our whole objective and Kirk's vision is to be able to increasingly provide these programs to people that live in this area. So this year, because of the support of the Golf Day and our incredible financial supporters, we've been able to fund those programs more than we've ever done before. And at the same time, we're building this really strong team within the foundation that's going to be able to deliver this centre that Cam spoke about, which will open next year in 2025.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That's amazing. It's just it's awesome to also hear that you're getting that type of support. And just to speak plainly about it, how does this encourage you all in this journey? Because it's a big offering. It's not like this is a little task, and it's affecting so many people.
Well, I think it starts with Kirk. You know, he's a guy that, you know, Kirk has been very successful in just about everything he's done, not just in baseball. Mm-hmm. And he could be living any kind of life he chose to live. And what he's chosen to do is spend so much of his time helping other people and providing them hope and inspiration on their, you know, battle against the disease. He's a fighter. Yeah. And this is a new fight. So he's fighting on behalf of other people to help them. So it starts with that, the inspiration he provides us every day. And that's attracting a really great group of people to the foundation that are really motivated and working really hard to make all of this happen. You can't, this is a big deal to open this centre. It's going to be world class. There's going to be nothing like it anywhere. And we hope that it provides inspiration to other communities to do the same thing and open centres up to look after people with Parkinson's.
That's awesome. And that your introduction to Kirk Gibson, it wasn't as who we know him to be, the Detroit Tiger great, Michigan State great. It was just in terms of who he was as an individual, as a person, that was kind of magnetized you to who he was and ultimately led to you accepting the CEO position of the foundation.
Exactly. So I was, you know, playing golf with a group of mates on a Saturday morning, and we saw this guy. We're teeing off at about 8 o'clock. We saw this guy. He was running up the hill of the 9th hole with a bag over his back, and he'd been out early and he was running the course. And he was walking past us, and my friends recognised him, and I had no idea who he is, and everyone was making a big fuss, and I had to go home and Google who Kirk Gibson was, and I found out about him. We ended up playing golf together and share a passion for golf, and became mates, and that led to me just getting increasingly involved in the foundation and joining the board, which was the starting point, and helping with the strategy, and now helping with the operations in order for us to open the centre.
Wow.
So yeah, and you know that people talk about, and you guys did a little earlier, talked about, and quite rightly so, this amazing hero that he is to the people of Michigan and to some extent the people of LA for what he's done. But the hero I see is the guy that's just helping others every day. That is heroic. While he's battling the disease, it's just quite incredible. So yeah, he's a great guy.
Is that or what has inspired you on some of your athletic endeavors? Because a little birdie over there told me you have you're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro this year or next year?
Yeah, that's next year. So that's the next plan to raise money. So
where's that come about?
Yeah, well,
this is a beast,
again,
man.
I've always wanted to do it, and helping people with Parkinson's just gives me extra inspiration to do it. So so we'll go to Tanzania next year and climb Kilimanjaro and hopefully raise a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, we look in your first response to Brandon over here, you talked about the hope and inspiration that you're providing with the foundation and everything you're looking to accomplish. And all I remember is, you know, as kids growing up, it was a different type of hope and inspiration that Kirk Gibson provided as that star athlete with the Dodgers too, with a walk-off home run. Yeah. In the World Series, but now he's able to take it on in a different way, using his life experience, using all of your life experiences. We've met so many people already who have just different stories, or working at the foundation, or starting, or supporting the foundation. To hear how you're involved in helping it's hope and inspiration to me and so many other people too.
Well, I think one of the other things that Kirk does is he's building a great team, and that is Kirk. You know, he's a guy that believes in the team, and he believes in what happens inside that locker room, and he has influence over that, a very strong cultural influence over how we all think and how we all act. Yeah. And that's part of his leadership as well. It's special. And if there is anybody that wants to help us, they can contact me and come on down and have a look at what we're doing and jump on in.
We shared the KirkGibsonFoundation.org. Yep. Is there any other way, a best way to get a hold of you or to connect with the foundation?
Straight through that website, and we get emails every day from people who are contacting us, and we respond to all of them.
That's awesome.
And so that's the best way to do it. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, Steve, thank you so much. Were there any last comments you wanted, questions we didn't hit that you want to share about what you're doing?
Well, again, I want to thank you guys. It's really special. Every time we shine the light on Parkinson's disease, good things happen. that help those people. This golf day is very special. I want to thank everybody that's involved in the golf day. It's a very important fundraiser for us.
Thank you.
Really important. So really appreciate it.
Thank you. If there's anything you need, we're here for you.
All right, guys.
And keep crushing life. I love it.
We appreciate it, Steve.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Brandon,
oh, man. Yes, sir.
More great, inspiring stuff out of the Kirk Gibson Foundation, out of everything we're looking to accomplish here at this outing. To hear Steve's story, different from Cam, different from so many out there, that's special.
It is very special, man. And it's encouraging, ultimately. Yes. Very, very encouraging in life and in sports. I think it was a very, very encouraging weekend for our Lions and our Tigers, bro.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break here, and let's get back and talk about those Lions and those Tigers. We'll start with Lions because we got to go around and get your winners or losers. Let's play Peaks and Cheeks. Let's figure out. Let's decode this 53-man roster a little bit.
And cheeks.
I'm excited. JB, what do you think? Where are we going?
You want a little defense, man? You know, I'll give them a little bit of defense.
Little Mitchell Agude.
You guys already know about that yellow and black sign. When you see it, then you already know it is ultimate protection. And it's not just people who don't care. This is technology that is backed by people, so you know that you can call them and you'll get someone on the phone, not getting stuck in that endless loop of, like, customer service, press one, press one, press one. No. Guardian Alarm has your back. They don't drop the ball. They are your defense. You can trust them. All you got to do to get that protection, call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number, 1-800-STAY-OUT.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you guys about Hole 17. But hold on. The Ally Challenge, man, at Warwick Hills. The pros are returning August 22nd through the 25th. And you guys, you got to get your tickets. Why? $2 birdie beers, concerts, pros golfing, and you guys having all of the fun. You got to visit allychallenge.com. Again, August 22nd through the 25th. That's next weekend. You guys want to be there. And I got to tell you guys, thank you for choosing to support Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 10 a.m. We appreciate you guys greatly, and I'm hoping you're smashing that like button for us. But not just for us, but all of Woodward Sports Network, people. Hey, after us, it's Big the Energy from 11 to 1. You got four-time Stanley Cup champion winner Darren McCarty alongside his co-host, the Golden Voice, Neil Rule. After that, you got Armani Edwards with Mass. That's Tom Masway. That's Braylon Edwards. That's Ryan Armani. Then the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7 p.m. Speak Easy, Spin Mo Racks, and their elite booth, Nick Koloff, Chris Platty, and the entire rest of the Heavyweights gang. They're bringing you the biggest interviews, breakdowns, and laughs. Hey, it's Woodward Sports, and we appreciate you guys for making us your #1 digital sports outlet. And again, we are back, man. It's Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for checking in with the crew. Man, we are at the beautiful Wingate Country Club and Golf Course. This is beautiful, man. The drive-in was stunning. It was breathtaking. If you ever get a chance to come out here, even if you can't golf, just do it for the views.
Seriously, it's tailor-made for an outing like this.
It's perfect, man.
It's just like tailor-made double plays that I know so many Tigers fans grew up watching. There was a middle infield up in Detroit at Tiger Stadium that took over the city. We're talking leading up to that 1984 World Series. Chad, I don't know if you are getting the inkling. We're taking a little. We're not getting to the Lions quite yet. We're going to talk Tigers a little bit more.
I think it's very appropriate, though.
It is, because we've been talking a lot all season about the development of the young guys, of Colt Keith.
Yes,
Trey
sir.
Sweeney just got called up. Jace Young just got called up. And that comes from a Tigers middle infield lineage that started with the man to my right. And that's World Series champion Alan Trammell. Mr. Trammell, thank you so much for being here.
One of my favorite numbers.
That was a nice
is 3.
lead in
Let's
there.
Go.
Well done.
Let's go.
Go Tigers. Nice little walk-off last night. I hope the Tiger fans are excited. I know that we're not there yet, but I do like the progress, and I do like the fact that we're bringing some of the kids back up. And it's exciting for me, to be honest with you. And I hope that the fans agree, but
they do.
Obviously, a nice exposure, national exposure, Sunday night baseball. The boys.
That Little League Classic. It was
nice.
fun.
Awesome environment.
And Kirk on the flagship radio station for the Detroit Tigers said a couple months ago, just be patient. Patient, and that's the word that not a lot of fans want to hear. But from your perspective, you got to be excited about what's going on with that team, the youth movement, just how A.J. Hinch, Chris Fetter, and crew are taking this team for what it is and starting to really build something.
They are. They're building something. Good way to describe it, and I'll second that. And just is of nature for all of us. We're all impatient, and we want it. And it's been a while. Let's be honest.
You don't
say.
But
You've got to do it, and we're doing it the right way. We really are. There's a few more bumps along the road. Obviously, playing professional sports, it's not just going to be given to you. You know, you're competing against other teams that are trying to do the same thing you are, win. But I do believe that the foundation is being set, and that it's going to be an exciting 6 weeks because, again, there's going to be a couple bumps. But for the most part, those kind of wins like last night and the development that you're seeing from a guy like, the walk-off with Parker Meadows, Jace Young getting his first Major League RBI in the bottom of the ninth to get it into extra innings. Those are all good things.
Yeah.
And obviously Tarek Skubal doing his thing. What a year he's having. So, again, we've got some pieces that it's going to be part of a championship team, which is what all Tiger fans are looking for.
Yep. And obviously you've been a part of what that feels like. You've also seen other good Tigers teams be formed after your team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to this current Tigers team? Because you believe in the foundation, but you also understand that they're going to go through some ups and some downs and some bumps before they ultimately get to where they want to go. What do you say to them to encourage them through that?
Well, one of the things is you have to the way you find out about a player, be honest with you, in any sport or really in any profession, is that you've got to go through some adversity. And you need to find out what they're really made of. Because when things are going good, well, it's easy. But that's not going to happen. That's not reality. Things are going to, at some point, it's going to fall off. And what do you do? How do you respond? And so these challenges that you go through, and again, we're going to get into Kirk Gibson, the challenges. That's what Kirk Gibson's all about, is a challenge, taking that on. But these young kids now are starting to learn. And so there's been a couple of times, and I know that we all have looked at it as like, well, here we go, we're going this way. And all of a sudden we've responded every time. And so those are the signs. Those are the signs that to develop a good club, that's what you do.
You said it right there.
We're on the right track.
You said it right there. That's one thing that we've been tracking. Our guy, Matt Brodric here, who covers the Tigers for the network, he's been saying it's going to be a roller coaster.
Oh, no.
But as the season goes on, you're going to see that this team is hovering right around 500. We've talked about the fact that they continue to fight off the wheels just falling off the bus. They continue to show that they're going to put forth the effort, the work, and then, like you always say, Brodric, it's cool to see these young players also making an impact.
Right.
It's an awesome thing to see.
Well, you're right. Again, I'll second that, but I'm going back years and years ago when our nucleus came up, including yours truly right here. the stories always get better when you get older. They forget we failed quite a bit ourselves, but we kept getting back up, and eventually it led to the championship and some pretty good clubs for quite a long time. But again, we started somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere and go through these ups and downs as we've just described. But I think back to, how we did it back then, and it's really no secret, developing from within your farm system, drafting, developing your players. This isn't new. This isn't some sort of new concept. They've been trying, organizations have been trying to do this forever. But it doesn't always work. Obviously, you've got to get the right players and then put the work in. Well, it worked for us back then. They're still trying to do it. And then when you get to a level that you're like, that you're close, that's when you can add and get over that final hurdle. And I think that we're getting close, but the nucleus has got to come from within, and I think that's where I'm excited, because I do know, and just watching and seeing and from afar, because I'm only around occasionally, but I'm watching. That again, I like what I see.
Yeah. I'm watching.
Yeah, and Mr. Trammell, you talked about overcoming adversity. I do want to ask you about Kirk Gibson and your relationship with him, what he means to you, and what it means to be able to support what he's doing. Of course, he was a part of that nucleus of that '84 World Series team with you both. With my former coach Dave Bergman, rest in peace. So, what does
good man Bergie for sure? Yep.
It was. What does Kirk Gibson mean to you, and being out here to support him?
Well, just trying to put it in some sort of instead of taking a half hour, because I love the man, and as I mentioned earlier about how he's lived his life, everything he's done, it's a challenge, as I mentioned before. But I'm saying it again because, again, the biggest challenge he has right now is dealing with Parkinson's. So a lot of times with the Parkinson's, people, obviously it's tough. There's no question about it. But what he tries to do, and obviously the raising the money and the awareness, but come to that person and say, hey, you've got to take this on. You can't hide. We have to deal with that. And again, that's how Kirk Gibson lives his life. And it's awesome when you see him come up to somebody and you can see them come out of their shell a little bit. And this is how, again, it's a terrible, terrible disease. There's no question about it. But again, like in life, do you quit or do you keep pushing?
Yeah, do you fight?
Well, obviously we know that answer. You keep pushing, and that's Kirk Gibson in a nutshell. And I love the man. Again, playing with him, he is a very intelligent man, and I just give him all the credit in the world that, again, he's, he has his better days, some days not so good, some days a little better, but the fact is he shows up every day. He posts every day. And he's got a huge heart. And again, we're here for a reason, to raise some funds to hopefully someday beat this thing.
Yeah. So I'll leave you with this last question. Why I love baseball so much, it's a game of overcoming adversity. You have to learn how to deal with failure, learn how to deal with heartache.
That you do.
You do, especially these young kids. How optimistic should the fans be about Colt Keith?
Oh, well, you know what? And you take away the first month and look at his numbers. He's arguably the top rookie in the American League. Oh, yeah. So again, that first month does count, but again, that's a learning experience. So what did he do? Did he quit? Did he go home? Absolutely not. He kept pushing, and now, he's respectable, more than respectable.
Yeah.
But that's how the kids develop. And so
I love it.
Credit to Colt Keith and the staff working with him, but Colt Keith's ultimately the one that goes out there and performs. You can only help somebody. We can talk, and then you have to go out there and do it. And that was the exciting part as a player that I certainly enjoyed, and many others. But Colt Keith's a good one, and he's part of our nucleus for sure.
I was going to say, you would know, happy 40th.
Oh,
happy
it's coming
40th.
Up. We got a little reunion coming up very shortly, less than 2 weeks. So we're going to get a chance to see, quite a few of our teammates, and I'm smiling because just like when you see, anytime Gibby and I get together, Rosie, Lance Parrish, Dan P., all the rest of the guys, even though we're older, we're still big little kids, and we reminisce, and the stories never get old. It's always good to see them.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Trammell, thank you so much for joining us and for being here today. We're so excited to be a part of this event. It was really great talking to you.
Well, appreciate you coming out and supporting Kirk Gibson's charity golf tournament, and raising awareness and some funds.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Right. Okay.
Brandon,
What a day.
The double play combination
What a day,
of the
brother.
Detroit Tigers. I'm going to check with Stick if we're going to go to break or maybe jump right into another incredible interview. Let's get right into it.
Let's just get into it.
Because there's a man coming up who I look up to in terms of stash creation.
Yes.
In terms of my mustache creation. This is Goose Gossage.
Hey, guys.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today, supporting the
here.
Kirk Gibson Foundation.
Yep.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Couldn't be better.
Thank you for being here with us.
Being here for Kirk and looking forward to a great day.
Yeah. Are you a golfer? Are you a good golfer? Or
I say all I have left is my autograph and a shitty golf swing.
Sometimes that's all you can keep. I'm definitely not a good golfer, so I will take that advice. What is it like being here supporting Kirk? Seeing, I'm sure, a handful of teammates or guys you competed against. What does this day mean to you?
Well, just like Tram, your guest that just left, any time that, hey, Kirk hit a shot heard around the world off of me, and if we can make things a little bit better. He's going through a rough time. I've had other teammates go through rough times, and God, it was just a silly game. I hated his ass, but that's what we got paid to do, is get guys out, and he hit the shot in the '84 World Series, as everybody knows, where Dick Williams wanted to walk him and I didn't, and then the rest is history, as they say. So, but to be here and be part of this tournament, be here for Kirk, his buddies, all of his buddies, he's got tremendous support here. Playing in Detroit, that was one of my great thrills, was coming to Detroit and playing at the old Tiger Stadium. Oh my God, that was a great house, you know, and just so many great memories as a visiting player. I never got Sparky Anderson and Ralph Houck early on in my career, playing against Gates Brown and Ike Brown and Willie Horton. Oh, what a badass. So
awesome.
I have a lot of great memories, playing at the old stadium, and I miss that place.
Yeah, I want to ask you real quick. You talked about the respect you had for Kirk Gibson in the batter's box. What is that like as an intimidating closer going up against one of the game's top pitchers? You're now, I assume you're friendly off the field. You that respect turned into a friendship post-career.
Well, I think we're both kind of the same cloth. We're both competitors, and he'll tell you stories about me blowing him away. And, hey, that night when it was, it was the last nail in our coffin, basically. And the way we went about it, and I shook Dick Williams off 3 different times. And,
throw that.
And then getting beat. But, it's a tip of the cap. These guys get paid to hit, and Kirk was such a great competitor. What he did against Eckersley is probably even greater, more monumental than what he did against me.
Yeah.
And, limping around the bases, that's the kind of heart that this guy has, and that's why we're all here. And to support him and be part of him, and he was such a great part of this community for forever.
Yeah.
And since he came on the scene, and so, yeah.
Yeah, and you just partly answered my question. I was going to say, what about Kirk Gibson and who he is as a person, beyond just the athlete? Because obviously as athletes, you're competitors. There's sometimes where a true competitor, sometimes you're probably hating the guy that is across from you. But what is it about him that you're able to see through those things that lands you in support of him today, and not just today, but the previous times as well?
Well, I think just that competitiveness that's in all of us, man, as a pitcher, when he walked up to the plate, hey, you're going to have your work cut out for you. That's all. And that respect, that mutual respect. 22 years in the big leagues, I never showed a hitter up, and a hitter never showed me up. It was a mutual respect that I was taught early on. I think that's missing in the game today, that this torch that was passed for over 100 years has really stopped being passed. They don't want my knowledge. If it doesn't come out of that stupid computer, they wouldn't know
stats and analytics
about it, you know. And all the important things in life, guys, doesn't come out of a computer.
I want to make sure that you know you're getting a lot of love right now with our audience. A lot of people in the chat right now are making sure to say that Goose is a legend.
Great. Well, you know, hey, if they're Detroit fans, wow, not everybody's a Yankee fan. I got to play for 9 different teams, loved every moment of every team that I played on. I really did, 22 years. And I started out my career, all I wanted to do was put a big league uniform on one time, and it turned into 22 years and an election to the Hall of Fame and you know, and getting invited to things like this. It doesn't get any better.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for being here. He talked about an illustrious 22-year career. We're talking 9 All-Stars. You were the pioneer of the closer role, World Series champion. It's been really a pleasure having you here, sharing your stories about Kirk. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and to all the fans out there, man. The fans are what the game is all about, and thank you guys for making it so damned exciting.
Hey, before you go, you know what? They just sent in what we call a super chat. Randall Smalls. He said, from Tigers fans, we tip our cap to you, Mr. Goose.
Wow, thank you very much. I tip it back.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Brandon.
Yes, sir.
You know I'm living in a dream right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. No.
Listen, from a Tiger stuff, that's why I'm like, you know what? Definitely. You have the questions to ask. Your passion for this, man, in baseball, having even the proximity to some of these people as you were coming up as a baseball player. I'm happy, not just for me, but for everybody to get this experience.
The cool part to me, like we've sort of alluded to, they're heroes to many kids growing up. They're guys that I looked up to. But when we hear the stories of their relationship with Kirk, that relationship as teammates, as competitors, as the closer who gave up the home run, like there's such a respect that now has carried in off the field. To what Kirk and what so many of their teammates are doing post-baseball career. That's what we remember them for, their baseball career. But now they have these platforms that we hope to be able to promote, to get that information out, talk about how sports help change them, help prepare them for life. Like I was talking about with Trammell, like the baseball to me, the learning to overcome adversity. We're talking you fail 7 times out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame. You're one of the best hitters of all times. That's not easy for many to cope with. That's not easy for young hitters like Torkelson or Colt Keith, Jace Young, Trace Sweeney to deal with. You're coming up to the bigs. You're excited. You've been your best player on every single team until this point. And all of a sudden you struggle.
Yeah.
But we've seen Colt Keith be able to overcome that adversity, make adjustments that'll have to continue throughout his career, but at such a young age, be able to make adjustments, fight through the on-field battles. That teaches you so much off the field.
And it's awesome to hear the optimism that these legends have for these young players right now, and that they see foundationally, you know what, this could be the start of something special, but obviously they have to do it. So it's cool to hear it, man. This has been, it's a beautiful day. I'm seeing more and more people start to make their way into the golf course. This is awesome, man.
Yes, it is. Let's take another quick break. I think we got another amazing guest coming up. But let's pay some bills. We'll continue to talk Tigers, and we'll sneak in some Lions. No doubt. JB, talk to me here. Where are we going?
Swiss. Hey, Swiss Insurance. You guys got to make sure you reach out to Swiss Insurance, because they will make sure that your current carrier is not slipping in any extra fees or raising any deductibles. Look, you got to call my guy Mark at Swiss Insurance. You can visit them online, swissins.com. Once again, hit up our guy Mark at Swiss Insurance and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, what up, though? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for checking in with the WUW Crew. Shout out to KG and Flannel Sam. We can't wait to be back with you guys. But we got the entire rest of the Wake Up Woodward crew with us. That dude, Justin, on sounds. We got Woodward Sports' MVP in the TD space today. That is JB Smooth. Hey, Mathieu Brodric, our credentialed Tigers and our Lions reporter and writer for the network. This is Brandon Dent. They call me Detroit Kool-Aid. I cover Pistons here for Woodward Sports, and it's been a great day at the Wingate Country Club. It's awesome to see the support here for Kirk Gibson and his foundation, and see how many people are just as excited as they were to play with him, to be out here and to support him in his vision. So it's been an awesome day. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling great. Meeting so many great people, and we got another one for you. Another one. Let's go. This is Martin.
Another one.
Martin, we just met here, but a friend of Kirk's, an actor, in which we're going to get into. You might recognize Martin from the Pirates of the Caribbean. But Martin, pleasure to meet with you.
A native of this great state of pure Michigan.
Troy?
Exactly, Troy, Michigan. I went to Troy, Athens, the whole 9 yards. I'm a Troy boy all the way through.
Let's go. Let's go. I love to hear that. And you know what? Your energy, everyone's energy has just been on 100. What's behind the energy this morning?
I mean, I'm going to be playing with 84 World Tigers. You know, that's crazy. I mean, and I'm golfing with Mr. Parrish, which, you know, one of the greatest catchers in my view. Anyway, he was one of my favorite catchers. So,
yo, this is awesome. For us, we've been absolutely geeking out about the Tigers this morning. I know you definitely have, Broder. But what does it mean for you to be out here and supporting Kirk Gibson and the foundation?
Well, I mean, it's a great tournament for a great cause. So anything you could do to help, you know, raise money for Mr. Gibson in the fight against Parkinson's, it's a great honor. So to be asked to be able to come back for this, I jumped on it. I canceled some other plans and drove all the way up here from Knoxville.
Kirk's one of those guys you would do that for.
Yes.
You would do that for. I know Justin in our makeshift sound booth today, he's got a question for you, I think, about your acting career.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do. I am a huge fan of Pirates of the Caribbean. We were talking about it before the break. Yeah. I'd love for you to just tell the people, how was that stunt where you had the huge gun and you were slung back by the wrench? Just let me know how that was, and then who was your favorite actor to play a role with?
Well, obviously, everybody's going to say Johnny Depp, and he is one of my favorite. But I've done a couple movies with Chris Pratt as well, and Chris is one of those dude. I mean, he's, you know, down. He'll ask you how your day's going. He's interested in what's going on in your life. He's not just somebody who, you know, shows up for a paycheck and, you know, whatever. So, but I definitely love Johnny Depp, Chris Pratt, right there. As far as the gun scene, that was in Singapore, and we shot it twice because when I came up out of the floor, I had to hit a certain mark, and there was a ratchet, an air ram that was going to yank me out. And if I didn't hit that mark exactly, the floor behind me would have took my head off. So once they got it on camera twice. We're like, yeah, we're good. We don't need to chance it anymore. So yeah, that was a heavy gun. Those are real things. They used to shoot hand grenades.
Wow, my word!
I would love to. I mean, if we had more time, I would pick your brain on your acting career for hours.
Yeah,
for hours.
Or lack of, yeah.
but you were telling us before how big of a Detroit sports fan you were.
Yes.
Our Tigers are number one.
Yep.
But I assume you're a Lions fan too.
I am a Lions, but I grew up, being in Oakland County, and in the '70s, you were either a Cowgirls, a Steelers, or a Raiders fan. So
you're a true Detroit fan, man.
Yeah, I mean, I did love that. I mean, I love Billy Sims, but obviously we had the greatest running back of all time in Barry Sanders. But I just always something about the bad guys. I just loved the Raiders. It was like that was my team, and I support. If it came down between the Lions and Raiders, I'd probably root for the Lions because I am a hometown boy. But
let's go.
Absolutely. That would be my Super Bowl. That would be a
that's
great
a Super Bowl dream right there.
Yep.
With the Lions hoisting that trophy.
Yes, absolutely.
Dope,
we deserve it. I mean, my Raiders have already been there 5 times, won 3, but
How
rub
are you
it
feeling?
in. Rub it in.
Yeah. I was going to say, though, how are you feeling about the Detroit Lions' chances this year? Obviously, they're stating their expectation to Super Bowl.
Well, I'd love to see him there. I mean, it's harder, though. I mean, now you've got a target on your back, right?
Yeah.
And I guess depending on how healthy everybody is, love Goff, great quarterback. Got a great backup in Hooker, right? We'll see.
He looked good yesterday.
Great receivers.
Oh,
yeah. We'll see. It's all about the defense to me. I mean, when you got a Michigan guy on the defense, that's what matters.
That is what matters.
He's so real, dog. Like you know when Detroit sports in sports here in this state runs through your veins, you're real, man.
Well, look, dude. I mean, my favorite dwarf was Grumpy. And so I have him wearing a Charles Woodson jersey, and he went to Michigan. So
go blue.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you about that because I saw the 24 on there. I was like, that's got to be. And Isaiah on the other side?
That's Isaiah.
Hey, you're getting some Go Blues from the chat audience.
I have the Macho Man. I have Tom Brady as Dopey. Kirk Gibson as Sleepy.
Let's go.
Steve Eiserman as Sneezy.
The captain.
This is incredible.
I have Rowdy Piper as Paschal.
No way. And then there's your Raiders.
Fire,
there's your Raiders. That is incredible. You got that on camera, right?
That is so fire.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm hoping the Lions win because we got to make sure we get some Lions ink.
Yes, absolutely.
We got to.
I want to flip the coin at the game or something. Or I did get to. I still want to do it again. I got to throw out the first pitch of the Tiger game.
Oh,
that was pretty awesome.
How nervous were you? Because Braylon Edwards, who we work with, he did it about a month ago. I don't know if he'll admit he was nervous, but I gotta imagine you step out on
bit. I mean, it's a little bit, but I mean, when I marked out 60 feet 6 inches because I wanted to make sure I didn't want to be one of those clowns who bounces it or
like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, you're an athlete. No matter if it's tennis or tiddlywinks, you should be able to do something right. So no, I threw a good strike. And it was Andy Van Slyke that caught it, so that was pretty cool. Yeah,
incredible,
that's awesome, man.
Martin, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great, just chopping it up for a little bit, hearing your perspective on Detroit sports and your relationship with Kirk. This is an incredible foundation.
I love Michigan State as long as they're not playing Big Brother. So I'm a blue guy, but I do like Michigan State too. I'll root for them. Anybody that plays Ohio State, that's who I'm rooting for.
Clip.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
is that where he went to State?
That is a sound. Our Sparty guy is right there on the TD booth. He's the only Sparty on the show. All the rest of our cast is all Go Blue.
Well, that's probably because he couldn't get into Michigan, though.
Oh, burn.
So it was either like it was like OCC or Michigan State. Yeah, he wanted to get out from home. That's all.
No, I'm telling you, that's a true one. That's a real one. I love it.
It's true.
I love it, Martin. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
It was a pleasure meeting
Martin,
you.
thank you.
Have a great time out there on the golf course. It's
All
going
right,
to be a
guys.
blast.
Be good.
Hey, thank you
Peace.
for your time, man. I love the energy. That's so dope,
It
bro.
gets better and better and better. Martin brought the energy. Everyone keeps bringing the energy.
That's what I'm saying. And it's cool that everybody's here to support Kirk Gibson, his foundation. And you know what? It's awesome to see the type of effect that he had on all of these people. They're bringing their energy, and they're here to support this thing. Like it's cool. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be in the environment. I'm glad to be a part of this energy as well. Coming off of a pretty high weekend. Well, a pretty good weekend. I'll continue to temper for the Tigers and the Lions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how about you tell them about Dr. Pierce, and we'll come back and we'll talk some Lions.
Hey, I will. Listen, you guys. Dr. Jeff Pierce, you got to tune in every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Armani and Edwards with Maz, where he is giving you top-notch injury advice. Dr. Jeff Pierce, he's the guy that DMAC trusts, that pros have trusted. Whenever there's an injury like Terrion Arnold, Jahmyr Gibbs, and you want more information on how that's affecting them and what to expect with their recovery, Dr. Jeff Pierce is the guy, so you want to stay tapped in. You can also get more information about him and the work he does at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Stay tapped in.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
To reach all your fitness goals, check out Planet Fitness. They are home of the judgment-free zone. For just $15 a month, you get access to all of their locations. They got weights. They got cardio equipment. They got everything you need. If you want to upgrade to the Planet Fitness Black Card for just a few more dollars, you can bring a guest to any location you go in and work out at all across the nation. They got 2,500, I believe, across Michigan. There's one literally on every street corner. I'm a Planet Fitness member. I enjoy it. It's great. Go to www.planetfitness.com or just walk into the location nearest you. And then after you're done working out and you're hungry, it might not be the most healthy meal, but it's definitely going to be the most delicious. That's Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They got hand-breaded chicken, pizza, tenders. They literally do have it all. And apparently, I haven't had them yet, apparently they have the best biscuits this side of the Mississippi. I'd encourage you to go check out Soroki's, the location nearest you at a mega station near you. It's www.sorokis.com.
Hey, man. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. And it's been a day. It's been electric. The guests have been bringing the energy. You're talking about having some legends, man, some absolute legends out here to support one of the greatest legends, Tigers legends. And we got to give Michigan State some love. One of the greatest Michigan State legends, Kirk Gibson.
Definitely.
It's dope. At the beautiful Wingate Country Club.
Football and baseball star at Michigan State. I'm happy to give him love. That home run he hit for the Dodgers, he could barely walk coming around second base. My parents, they got married on October 14th, 1984. So that team has just always been special to me. They told me about people leaving their wedding early to go catch the end of the game. It's fun to relive those moments, especially when you're here at the Wingate Country Club, sitting in these amazing, these bougie red chairs.
Bougie? What do you mean bougie?
Feel nice and cozy.
What do you mean bougie?
Oh, he's got the pinky up. He's got the pinky up.
Listen, man, it is only appropriate when you are sitting in these leather chairs here. I feel so fancy, man. Yeah, I really do. I feel like I need to have a suit on to sit in these chairs, though.
Seriously,
I do. I feel a little underdressed here.
Kool-Aid, how about this?
Yes, sir.
How about this? What if I told you that Patrick Mahomes can't even beat Jared Goff when he's not even playing?
You know what, Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes. He better be glad that it was the 49ers last year in the Super Bowl and not the Jared Goff-led Detroit Lions, because
Kryptonite.
All he does is win.
Kryptonite.
Let's go.
No, it was preseason game 2. The Lions, did pull out a 24-23 victory. Patrick Mahomes played 2 series, had one. The Shaquille O'Neal, I don't know if you're in the chat. I will glaze him for a moment. That little behind-the-back pass he made to Travis Kelce.
Sexy.
You have to, man. That's glaze worthy.
Yeah.
That's Krispy Kreme donut.
You don't see people do that. You don't, only Patrick Mahomes can try, any other human, immediately on the bench.
He's like Matthew Stafford evolved. You know, some of the things, some of the arm slots, the angles and all that type of stuff, but he's just taking it to a completely different level.
Yes.
It's like what C.J. Stroud was talking about, why he liked Stafford. He was like, look, what you see Mahomes do, but I'm seeing Mahomes do things that I've never seen Stafford do.
He's special. He is the GOAT. I mean, not the GOAT yet, but he's the best player in the NFL.
He's on the path.
And he's well on his way to getting right there with Tom Brady. But I want to play Peaks and Cheeks with you guys. Just talk about winners and losers from that preseason.
Yes, sir.
Game
Let's
2.
go.
Because we did talk about there were things to take away from that game. We might have found our number 2.
Yeah. Are there any definitive statements?
Yeah. So how
takeaways?
About, let's start off with the big name, Hendon Hooker. QB Hendon Hooker. Peaks or Cheeks. So. Was he a winner on the day? Are you buying his stock, or is he a loser?
Absolutely buying his stock with Hendon Hooker. And honestly, all the quarterbacks, Nate Sudfeld looked night and day better. But with Hendon Hooker, I'm looking at a guy who just looks confident. He looks like he knows he belongs. Like, he looks like a quarterback who knows, like, I'm actually really good. And we always talk about his legs, let him cook. We need the mobile quarterback. But, look, hey, as he gets the touch together, it's going to look even better. But his arm is what really impressed me. His ability to grasp the offense, hit the runners in stride. I liked Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, his poise. He's able to do all the stuff.
Poised.
Not just the stuff on the field, but the quarterback things, the making reads at the line. Even his touchdown run, which was a fantastic run. Went through his reads, wasn't there, took off, made one move, touchdown. Justin.
And I love – just real quick. I love that he went through the reads, because sometimes you see kind of the mobile, run-happy quarterbacks, and they will break off the progressions early and take off. He actually, as a quarterback, and that's what I'm glad that he's a quarterback mind first is what it looks like before he says, all right, let me take off and run. And I loved it. And he ran confidently, man.
Yeah.
He runs strong. Hendon Hooker, man, he's cooking.
Justin, do we have our quarterback number 2, Peaks or Cheeks?
I think that's Peaks, and I'll say straight up. 2 weeks ago, I was not very high on him. I didn't know if he had the capabilities to read off his first and second read and hit that third and fourth read. But even on his rushing touchdown, you saw him scan the entire field. And he was like, all right, last resort, let's go. And that's what I want to see. I don't want a mobile quarterback. I want someone who sits in the pocket and plays Ben Johnson's system, hits the open receivers, and I think that he's well on his way to getting there, and I think he has made strides in his ability to read a defense in the last year that he hasn't been playing. He must have been in the film room like a motherfucker, straight up.
I want to know.
No, my bad.
Yep.
I want to know what the chat family thinks as well. Are they surprised at the poise that he's showing in the pocket, that he's not just looking to run, but he's actually playing the quarterback position?
Yeah.
And looking good doing it.
And what we need to see is if Jared Goff has to miss 2-3 games. If he has to miss a half in a high leverage game, can Hendon Hooker come in and hold down the fort? You don't even need to move it forward. Can you just keep the offense just running? Can you just keep it running, not make mistakes? I believe we have our QB number 2 of the future. It's whether they feel confident week 1 or week 6 or week 8. I think it's going to be pretty soon, but I'm not in the camp anymore of going out and getting a long-term backup solution. But
I think he's that guy, and some of my concern was our team's going to load up and just try and stop him from running. Like I said, no, it's just preseason, but seeing that he's capable makes me so much more a capable thrower. Makes me so much more comfortable with him as our QB2 than I already was.
No doubt. He did end up he was 12 of 15, 150 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions,
Efficient,
5 rushes, 11 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, how about the guys he would be throwing to? The guys trying to earn. I'm calling it wide receiver 4, and I'm going to put 2 names in this. Yep. We got to talk about some other guys, and we'll fire through this. But Daurice Fountain and Donovan Peoples-Jones, peaks or cheeks?
Oh, my God. I think Stick just said it, especially with what we saw out of guys like Kaden Davis, Isaiah Williams. Bro, I even loved Vaki catching the ball out the back. I loved it, dog. You were on to that early. I don't know about those 2 right now, DPJ. Weird. DPJ and Fountain. After all of the noise we did hear and the fact that Sudfeld and Hendon Hooker both had games that the wide receivers were able to go out there and show something, it's weird. I have less questions about the wide receiver room, even though DPJ and Fountain have not stepped up in the way that I thought they would have.
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't do anything to me to step up. I don't think Kaden Davis, he had a great 61-yard touchdown catch. That was it, though. He had one other catch for 3 yards. I think Isaiah Williams did step up, but he's not that true X-type receiver, and we're going to get to him in a second. But
so you
DPJ
there's probably more questions then.
Yeah, I think it's more questions. I see a lot of guys in the chat here on Markham Cheeks, Curtis Morey Cheeks, Megan Hindy, Hendon Hooker,
big cheeks,
Andre Ware. I sure hope not. Brian Ruth Cheeks. I'm not seeing any peaks, and Stick did before he said left cheek, right cheek.
Yeah.
That might be it. Justin. Daurice Fountain and Donovan Peoples-Jones specifically on that wide receiver crew.
All right, I probably should have my mic still muted, but I will say cheeks because they did not do anything to impress me. They really just were there. And that's not what you're trying to see when you're competing for a wide receiver 3 or 4 role. I want to see them popping off the tape. At least Isaiah Williams did something to pop off the tape, which we'll get to in a second. I'm really disappointed, especially in DPJ as a Michigan fan and someone who has been on the DPJ hype train for a while.
That's the word, disappointed. That is the word, man. That's the word. That when we entered this, I had questions, and it was really just who was going to separate themselves between. I thought DPJ was going to lock down the role. To see the way that it's worked out, it's just like, it's pretty disappointing, especially in a year where we want as much stability, as much depth, and as much versatility. We can see those are some of the words we use regular basis because it's the way they're trying to build their team. It's the way that winners win. So it's a little disappointing, but like I said, it's tempered because of what we see some of the other guys doing.
Absolutely. We're going to talk Sione Vaki and Isaiah Williams in the next segment. But do we find our kicker? Yep. Peaks or cheeks, Jake Bates. Jake Bates, we're talking 4 of 4 from field goals. That's 12 points. 0 for 1 extra points. 0 for 1 extra points, but 4 of 4 field goals, including a 55-yarder and the game winner. Peaks or cheeks?
Did we find our kicker, you said? Absolutely.
Yeah, you mean while you guys were all laughing and peaks or cheeks?
Right, absolutely peaks. It was cool to see him go out there and honestly in outdoor environments. Now he's had a really good preseason, especially in rain, in different elements, and to see him kind of in a game with some pressure to win the game.
That's what I like.
Go out there and make that kick against the Chiefs. Like, I get people want to say it's preseason. I'm sorry. There's a lot of guys who this is new to them. They're looking at legends across. They're looking at the Super Bowl champs. They're in their stadium at Arrowhead. And shout out to you, Lions fans. You guys are sickos. I heard Let's Go Lions chants on the broadcast. I saw a lot of blue speckled in. That must have felt good for some of these young players as well, but peaks.
That's what it is, Justin. It's those high leverage kicks. It's preseason, but for a kicker, it's about the pressure. It's about being able to kick from distance in terms of what the Lions are looking for and be able to make a high leverage field goal to win it. Peaks or cheeks? Jake Bates, do we have our kicker?
Peaks. I saw a lot that I didn't see before. And Neil will be the first one to be on the Badgley hype train, and that he wanted Badgley, and Badgley's more consistent. He's more proven. But I think Jake Bates is getting to a point where he's becoming proven. He's hitting those kicks that he was struggling with in the beginning of training camp, and I think that's a big thing for him. I think he's adjusting to the NFL, and I think that we have found our kicker, so I'm going to give that a peaks.
Yeah, we can't be missing extra points, so he does have to clean that up. There are going to be some more bumps, but just to see that 55-yarder, which looked to be good from about 87 yards, and just in the pressure pack situation at the end of the game, I love it. We'll do
lots of DPJ is trash in chat.
Yeah,
which is such a rip.
There's only two things in the chat right now. DPJ is trash and a certain nickname for Mr. Bates.
Yeah, I just wished – I keep thinking I'm waiting for DPJ to step up. He did have a big block to spring Kaden Davis free, but he didn't do enough from a pass-catching standpoint to, like, man, come on. We need you. We need you. How about this? All right, screw it. Running back, Sione Vaki. Peaks or cheeks?
Peaks.
Huge peaks.
I'm seeing the guys all around clapping, shaking their head.
Loving it. Sione Vaki is the truth. Craig Reynolds has nothing on Sione Vaki. Sione Vaki.
That's not true, but continue.
In my opinion, I think Sione Vaki actually could carry a RB2 role strong. If Gibbs is missed time, just potentially,
I see where
I would trust that the backfield of Monty and Vaki could get the job done. There won't be a significant drop-off where I feel like with Craig Reynolds. I don't love Craig Reynolds running through the tackles. I don't love Craig Reynolds out of the backfield. Sione Vaki made plays from the backfield. He caught did he have 4 or 5 catches on the day?
Hey, and you know what I loved about those catches? 3 of those catches particularly come to mind. They were balls thrown before the first down marker, and what did he do? He turned those into first downs.
He made plays.
And he moved the chains. What are you gonna say? I love what Vaki brought to the table. Sticker's been over here.
We have a new interview. We have a new interview. Wait, we have another Detroit sports legend, said Freddie Felt.
Let's go.
Probably the most uninteresting interview that you're going to have today. This golf outing is absolutely amazing. How beautiful.
Beautiful, bro.
And how about these red leather chairs? I mean, we really stepped up our game today. We have a nice Wingate carpet running the stage. Like, we couldn't be out here with our black leather.
Very posh.
Yeah, we had to go steal the nice stuff from inside. We'll return it. Don't worry, Wingate. But no, people going nuts in the chat and for Jesus over here. Like, Vaki's very nice. Not better than Craig Reynolds at this point.
Thank you.
Potential? Sure, maybe. Probably some more uses. But even Isaiah Williams, when Dan Campbell was talking about him in the postgame, his problem is the people in front of him. He's a great slot receiver. He is. But in front of him is Amon-Ra St. Brown at the slot and then Khalif Raymond at the slot. And if you put any of those guys out there, they would have succeeded the same way Williams did. So the unfortunate thing for Williams is he's not a Z. We need a Z wide receiver because we have our X, we have our Y, we need the Z, and he's not that big body, big frame guy. Yeah. He is valuable, but you cannot have 3 5'8" guys out there. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. So I get excited for these games. You know me, like I was jacked for the first preseason game. Yeah. I was jacked for this game. People that don't get what preseason is, it's like being able to watch a live practice. You get to go behind the scenes. Yep. That's what I'm not looking for game action. I'm looking at, what can these guys do? And Hendon Hooker got his reps. We now know he's QB2, and it's going to be really ridiculous when Goff has 2 bad games in a row and Detroit starts throwing him off the ship and saying, you saw what Hooker could do in preseason? I'm happy. It's a good 3rd-round pick now. You have your backup quarterback. You have your insurance. So that makes Brad Holmes look even smarter. Vaki, love him. Bates hitting those kicks outdoors. That's all I needed to see. And that's why preseason's important for the fringe guys. Not for your starters, for the fringe guys.
Can I actually ask you about 2 starters, but really 1 Lions starter? I know it's not the most exciting topic, but punters. Like, to me, if you're a fan of punting, Matt Ariza versus Jack Fox yesterday, I know you're a Jack Fox guy.
I love Jack Fox.
Best punter in the league?
Shout out Jack Fox.
Not only the best punter in the league, hybrid quarterback. I think the 100% completion percentage. Every time they throw it on 4th down with Jack Fox, it's money.
Dare we say Nate Sudfeld's job's in jeopardy due to Jack Fox and Isaiah Williams being better quarterbacks?
Nate Sudfeld's job's in jeopardy because Nate Sudfeld. that's why Nate Sudfeld's job's in jeopardy. I don't know what you're going to do as a third-string quarterback, but the fact that we're sitting here as Lions fans, not figuring out who our starting right guard is going to be in preseason, but figuring out who our third-string quarterback is.
Bro.
Oh, it feels so good.
Our third-string quarterback. Who's our wide receiver 4?
Oh, yeah, our wide receiver 4. Not like, is Mike Williams actually going to show up this time?
Who's the depth to the depth on our offensive line?
We're figuring out depth. This is amazing. We've never been here. This is uncharted territory for Lions.
That's why I asked Cam that earlier. Like, bro, what are we supposed to do right now as fans? Because we've never been here to the point that we're like literally talking about the backup and then his backup quarterback.
Yeah. Oh no, our backup quarterback. This is amazing. We are rich. We now know what it feels like to be rich. Not only are we here at Wingate, but we have the Lions, which is a treasure trove of talent that it's like, oh, well, Isaiah Williams is a great slot receiver, but we got 3 of them, bro. We don't need you.
Like, our starting duo is David Montgomery, running backs, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and we're literally sitting here arguing about Craig Reynolds to some degree and Sione Vaki because of how good they are. Or at least how they look.
Sione Vaki was drafted as a defensive player, too, and a special teams guy. So he's going to make the 53-man roster. He's going to be there. He will get some touches. They're going to use him. But to say he's ever going to get like 5 to 10 carries a game, I don't see that happening. I just can't see that happening. Craig Reynolds, he's a Dan Campbell guy. Dan Campbell's loyal to Dan Campbell guys. He's not going to punt this guy off the roster because we've seen what Craig can do. Craig!
Yeah. He's the best pass blocking running back on the roster by a landslide.
He had the block of the year last year, and that's what will get you the playing time.
And that's what I was going to say. The only thing, in my opinion, Craig Reynolds does better than Vaki is pass blocking. I'm not saying to cut Craig Reynolds. I'm just saying that if anyone's getting touches with the ball, handoffs, screens, check down passes, Sione Vaki is a higher effective weapon than Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds has just as much value because of his value in the pass blocking game and his run blocking as well.
Yeah, their value is just different, but they both have value in different ways.
And talk about Ben Johnson as well. You got something to say, brother?
Oh, that just, the chat. There's always there's always the chat. DNC is just like, you can't spew this BS without reasoning. Why isn't Vaki an RB3? A, he's a rookie. B, he's unfamiliar with the system. C, Craig Reynolds is a proven commodity. D, Craig Reynolds is a professional who has been a professional for a long time. Like, I could keep going why. And then he says he was drafted as a running back. No, he wasn't.
Actually, this came out over the weekend where they said the Lions were the only team to draft him primarily as a running back.
He did not go. He went into the combine and tested in 4 to 5 different positions. He was listed as a defensive back during the draft.
Yes.
So he was looked at as a utility player coming out. He was not looked at as a starting running back. Are the Lions going to utilize that because that's what they do? They utilize the tools that they have because we have great coaching staff. Yes, they're going to do that. But if you were going to look me in the face and tell me Sione Vaki came out as a running back, I'm going to call you a liar and tell you don't know.
That's what he said, though. He said the Lions, that he was evaluated as all the positions. Right. The Lions were the only team in the NFL to draft him as a running back, which surprised me to read.
And we'll see, because he's going to be on the special team. They drafted him as a special teams expert.
Yes.
And will he get some reps at running back? Sure. But they did not draft him to be our running back.
And you know what I like, though, ultimately is the versatility of the players. It preaches to, and honestly lends a little bit more credence to what Ben Johnson's going to do, because I believe that he silently was cooking in this second game, especially kind of the inside handoffs to Vaki on one.
Isaiah Williams
on one. And you know which one really impressed me? Say it one more time.
Kennedy!
That one, I was just like, yo, why are you putting this on tape? Except for the fact that if we have all this versatility across the field, our guys can all catch, our guys can all run, our guys can take the handoffs, they can get the pitch, all of that, then you can line up whatever formation you want and know we can run 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different plays, and we know all of our guys can do exactly what we'd ask them
to do. And that's what makes great teams, right?
Yep.
We're going to choose how we beat you today. Like, all right, we're gonna run the ball. You're gonna have to stop the run today. Okay, you stop the run. All right, now we're gonna turn to Jared Goff and we're gonna go to Amon-Ra St. Brown. You took away from St. Brown. Like, that's what you see in the Lions now and you've seen in great teams throughout history. Not only can they beat you the way they want to, they can beat you the way you want to fight too. And the Lions are now that.
Yeah. Yep. The thing about Vaki is he and Craig Reynolds are both making the 53. So we're talking about having 4 running backs on the depth chart. Craig Reynolds will be the number 3. The question comes, all right, do they keep 6 wide receivers? Or do they keep 5? Do they keep 4 tight ends? Or do they keep 3? Where are you sacrificing that? Because I don't know if they thought Vaki was going to be ready this early. But, yes, it is seeming like they're going to shrink. They're going to use all of their weapons as pass catchers versus 6 wide receivers.
You have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's going to be more of a hybrid slot receiver this year that they talked about a little bit last year in the midseason, like, hey, you're going to see some more of this. So there's your secondary wide receiver set. You have your Gibbs. You have Vaki if you want him to run out of that slot as well.
Yeah, Dante151 real quick. $20 super chat.
What up, Dante?
Hey,
Dante.
Shout out
Dante, what do you do for a living?
Can he come and support? Like, is he close to the
Dante
job?
can come.
Yeah.
Dante lives in Traverse City.
Well, then we got to go do a Red Wings training camp up north.
We got to go do some content.
That's what I've been saying.
He said, did any of you see how dysfunctional the Packers are without Jordan Love? Even though it's preseason, but losing 27-2 to Denver is concerning for the backups for the Green Bay Packers. If Jordan Love goes down, the Packers are done. That's true. Sean Clifford isn't it. It's the same problem. We're waiting to see Hendon Hooker step up, so we don't feel that same way. If Jared Goff goes down, the season's over.
Talk about some FTP energy, because Dante knows we would have just read that anyway. But what's more FTP than just saying it? Paying to say it, too. I love it. He put value on that one.
He did.
I love that, Dante. Thank you for the super chat, and I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Before we get to break and then get to our Feldman mailbag segment, let's talk defense real quick. Defense real quick. There were some – we're not going to be able to get to everything today. There were some – I want to talk Isaiah Williams because, yes, I was the first person to get on the Isaiah Williams bandwagon before he signed as an undrafted free agent way back when, just putting that on wax again. But defense, special teams struggled. Special teams coverage, kickoff coverage.
Actual study.
But on defense, James Houston was an early scratch. I didn't hear what you just said. What did you say?
I said so.
What'd you say?
You heard a little bit. So
I did.
Actual study, not just emotion.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Emotion. Kennedy. James Houston was a scratch, like late scratch. So he didn't get to give me like 2 more minutes before you hit that music. Mitchell Agude, I thought, stepped up. I thought Isaac Ukwu stepped up. And I thought Brodric Martin played pretty well in the middle, too. Again, wasn't as much of a disruptor, but he was a force there in the middle, kind of eating some of those blocks. So Chris Smith, Wingo, Agude, and Ukwu could make their plays. Even Mathieu Betts, I should have mentioned him, too. Only 1 tackle, but it was a big sack. I believe the third quarter, it was a big moment.
You see the potential.
I wanted to see more, and he's on the fringe of getting cut. I think he might be a practice squad player, but the defense, I thought, especially against the Kansas City ones, early they moved the ball, held them to field goals. I thought the secondary played pretty well against Patrick Mahomes. Despite the one Xavier Worthy, Amik Robertson let him get behind. I thought Amik played great except for that play. But that defense and the defensive line, I was impressed with Agude and Ukwu.
I love how physical our team is, just in general, and how physical and kind of without going over the line, our defensive backs are actually playing. Some of the stops, some of the pass breakups that they did have, I was like, yo, they're literally running the routes for the wide receivers.
That's Khalil Dorsey and Kindle Vildor.
Listen,
they look great.
Shout out to KG. I know he was a Khalil Dorsey guy.
Through the pain?
I liked Kindle Vildor all the way,
He's a 5.
To the 49ers
He's a 5.
He's a 5. And that's what we talked about. I remember people were like, yo, before he was signed, I was like, I would like to see him back. He works hard, and he's not one of those guys that's running away from the fact that he was in that infamous position. He was like, I want to get better. And the team recognized that as well. So it's like, to look at these guys, when we talk about the versatility and the depth, it's pretty awesome to see these guys go out there and show out and play with that physicality. It shows that whatever the message is in that secondary room, it's translating. Because you see Amik Robertson go out there, and he's playing tough, and then you see your 4s and your 5s go out there, and they're playing just as tough, playing with the same tenacity. That, to me, says that something is working right in that room.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll just start answering your questions. We'll get to our mailbag segment. Put hashtag Feldman mailbag in the chat, and we'll answer them for the next 15 minutes. But, JB, what do we got? Oh, okay, I got you. KDK Law, if you're struggling or dealing with family issues, child custody issues, visitation, you need Kevin and Catherine from KDK Law in Birmingham to have your back. And that's exactly what they'll do. They're open 24/7, are available 24/7 to their clients. Just give them a call and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. They'll pay your filing fee. I know those situations are hard to deal with, but if you find yourself in them, contact Kevin and Catherine from KDK Law in Birmingham. And if you're looking for your kids to find the best sports league, the best football and cheer league in Michigan, go to the 3C Sports. That's the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports Leagues for $175 per child. We got transportation. We got equipment. It's all included with the chance to play the championship game at Ford Field. All the coaches, they're certified, they're trained, and they undergo background checks. So go check them out. BCB, I'm doing this off the cusp, and I can't, pardon? 3C, I was going to give the website. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I will put it in the chat, but go check them out. Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours.
Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Find yourself in a financial pinch, but you're looking to buy a home? Go check out Mark White and Associates for all of your real estate needs. Their incredible team will help you find the perfect home to fit you and your lifestyle. You know what? You mentioned Woodward Sports. They'll pay $5,000 of your closing costs, too. Seriously, Mark White and Associates, they do incredible work. Go check them out in Birmingham if you need to buy a house or rent. Do it. Cool. Hey, tell them about Randy Wise Celebrity Golf.
I will. You guys already see we're at the beautiful Wingate Country Club and Golf Course for the Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic. And there's a lot of people here to support. And one of those supporters, Randy Wise. This is all a part of the Celebrity Golf Tour as well. Hey, so you guys stay tapped in with us. We got a few more of these remotes. We hope that you guys pop out as well. And just as wise of a decision as that would be, with your automotive, you got to choose Randy Wise Automotive. It is the wise decision. And we are back.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for kicking off the day and staying with the WUW Crew. It's been a day. The chat has been electric. The numbers have been up. I need you guys to satisfy that like button. We will be back in the studio soon, so we will be singing to you guys to satisfy that like button. But go on ahead and continue to smash it. Continue to show all of Woodward Sports and everybody else that this is that chat family, man. Hey, we talked a lot of Tigers, talked a lot of Lions today. Hey, I see Tram walking back over here again. Hey, shout out to the legend. Shout out to the legend, man. And it's been a great day. And we were just talking Detroit Lions, some of our takeaways we discussed. Are there any definitive takeaways? Because everyone says temper with preseason. But I think we got some answers.
Yes. To get right into the Feldman mailbag segment, LFG, did Onzarike play? If so, how well did Levi play? He didn't. He got the day off, I should say. I don't know if he's going to play in preseason game 3, but it's looking more and more like they're penciling him as, if not a starter, one of the key twos to come in on the defensive line. Can really play all 4 or 5 positions depending on what look they have. And right below the Allen W mailbag, are Houston and DPJ in danger of not making the team?
He says, Houston and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I think players at both positions are making a case for themselves to make the team over them. Plus, I've heard both have been bad in camp. Allen W. Do you have an opinion on that?
You know what? I've been disappointed. James Houston is a guy that we hope to hear his name called. We're talking about this guy making an impact against the number ones, let alone in preseason where he's going to be playing against backups. And I just haven't heard his name called, and it's interesting to see people that are intrigued by Mathieu Betts of the CFL with the Detroit Lions getting this look right now, and it does make me think. I believe, knowing who Dan Campbell is, you would think that he goes with a James Houston type. That's a guy who's proven on the field. But I do like what Mathieu Betts put on tape. I agree with you. He needs to clean some things up, but I've been disappointed with James Houston a little bit.
I think both are right on the cusp. I don't think there's any guarantee they make this team. You may even be looking at a possible trade scenario for James Houston, but the injury hurts. He really needs this time. Like the preseason games are important for him to not only show he's healthy, but to step up and show he can rush off the edge. Yeah. That would have been a great opportunity going up against Kingsley Sumatai and to go and get Carson Wentz and Patrick Mahomes. The fact that he missed that is tough. And DPJ, although he's got a 1-year, $2 million contract and has been playing better in training camp and practice the last week, we didn't see it show up on the field when we needed it to.
Yeah, and you know, I just wanted to ask you as well, how disappointing has this been with James Houston and DPJ?
Yeah,
think about the hopes we had. We thought that James Houston was that put him on the line, see quarterback, get quarterback, and I was just ecstatic about the fact that they said that they were going to put him more in a position to just get after the quarterback. So I am pretty disappointed. And then beyond that, DPJ is a guy that we knew he had a little bit of a step back this previous year, but we thought, you know what, we'll take his full body of work. We'll take the fact that he's a native son. We'll take the fact that DPJ is a guy who's coming in saying, I want this and I need this opportunity. Yeah. So to understand that both of these guys need these opportunities and that it's not really paying dividends, at least right now, it's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I think the disappointment with James Houston, at least for me, is the ceiling he is so high, but it's not as deep of a disappointing feeling because we've seen other guys step up, including Levi O and Josh Paschal. He played pretty well yesterday. I think Agude is going to make the team, and Isaac Ukwu might too. I imagine Betts is on the practice squad, if not cut. James Houston to be determined. Zach Soap, I saw one from Zach here. Stafford. This is Feldman mailbag. Stafford is going to want blood game 1. Are you nervous of losing the first game?
I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous at all. I'm not. I think the time for the nerves was just kind of going into that playoff game, and then as soon as it hits, you're like, all right, let's go out there and do ball. Yeah. And it's because I believe in what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are not just saying, but what they've done.
Yes.
I'm not nervous at all. I hope that it's a bloodbath. Detroit Lions, go Rock.
Yeah, come on back to Ford Field. Mason Leach mailbag. Who else is ready for college football on Saturday? From now on, we won't have a Saturday without college football until January. That's right. That's right. We're going to be talking more college football in our show tomorrow, but it's happening. It's coming. College football is here, and I can't wait.
I think Michigan's going to surprise some people.
Mike Reed, mailbag. Any of you fellows at Woodward Sports going to the Lions game this Saturday? Raise your hand if you are. I'm not seeing it here yet.
None yet.
We will be at the Ally Challenge all weekend long out in Grand Blanc. The party hole 17.
Yeah.
Waste Management's got nothing on what we're about to bring to this party.
You said hole 17 is the glory hole?
It is one of them. Not the type some people are familiar with, but it's a great hole.
How about this? The dude, Ed O'Neill. Hey, Ed, sorry about your Yankees last night and this weekend. My apologies. Feldman mailbag. Ed says, why are people worried about the missed extra point when Justin Tucker and All-Pro Brandon Aubrey missed multiple extra points last year?
Because we don't know how to act as fans of a
That's
team
part of
with
it.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
expectation.
Yeah. For me, it's less that I'm worried it becoming like a consistent issue. It's more I want to see a young player be able to step up and do the easy things well. Like do the simple stuff. And then move it back and kick your 65-yard. You need both, but he's right. Like Brandon Aubrey, if I'm not mistaken, was all pro last year. You can get away with a few, especially with Dan Campbell as your coach. And by the way, he didn't go for it on fourth down once yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, put it that way.
And they won.
And they won by a field goal.
Hey.
By a field goal.
Dante, sorry.
I was just going to say, but that's like he played the game the right way, and you came up on a lot of situations that benefited the team in the long run. And that's it. If you're not kicking field goals all game long, you're not in the position to give Jake Bates that kick at the end of the game with the fans getting loud and the pressure. So it all worked out perfectly.
Bro, the fans being there were absolutely insane. I didn't even ask you about that stick. Bro, tell the Lions fans congratulations, man. Shout out to them.
Oh,
yeah. You hear them in a preseason game in Arrowhead, bro.
I tried to tell y'all, it was about a month ago. We're on the cusp of being the annoying fans. So last year it was like, oh, the Lions are winning. That's so cute. This year it's all about, God, these guys are taking over our stadium again. How annoying. Like, I ran into a Packers fan, and they were not happy with what happened inside Lambeau last year with all the Honolulu blue and after the game. And every
Great job.
But we're on the cusp of being the annoying fans, and I don't love it, but I love it.
You know Anson loves it.
I am the annoying fan, so I don't mind,
Oh, man.
Dante 151 mailbag. It is interesting that the Detroit Tigers have helped two teams that were in second place now in first place in their division by winning this series against teams in first place, now second. I think you're talking Mariners and Yankees. Yeah, that's the thing. This young team, and we really didn't spend much time talking Tigers today. We're going to have to tomorrow because I had a blast watching them all weekend, and especially in the Little League Classic last night. But they're young. They're scrappy. Like Tram said, there are going to be bumps in the road, but it's important to see these young guys not only at the big league level going through it for 6 weeks and being able to make those adjustments this season to hopefully start off next season rolling, but also to learn how to win and to learn how to scrape together some of these games. We're talking about Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and the Yankees. And it was the young guys that wanted in extras. Scooble did his business.
All eyes on them.
Yeah.
With all eyes on them. I love it.
The broadcast was so Yankees glazing. I know Dante 151, the Shaquille O'Neal. You guys all watched the Tigers game, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but you set it up perfectly.
Just talk about it,
bro, there are things I can't say because we're here in public, but their love for the Yankees and lack of love for the Tigers, I'm so glad they won that
What's
game.
a good way we can say it? It was as if they were Hawk Tua girl in the booth for the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's how they were.
Seriously.
Spit all that thing.
I will say I love Jazz Chisholm more. She's such a cool.
I was gonna say, can we talk about how she's like
aura, bro.
She's like the most wholesome girl too. Like she's raising money for like veteran pets now, and like she's using her hodum to like do good. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask out of any home.
Yeah, like people are ripping on the Mets or ripping on these, for bringing her on and to highlighting her, but they're not like talking about Hawk 2. They're like like you said, she's raising she's doing cool stuff. she's having a blast.
Listen, she's the exact exemplification of what it's like to be a star in 2024. Comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she's doing things, throwing out first pitches, all for probably giving some of the best advice I think anybody could have given all the ladies in the world. It didn't get popular because she was wrong. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah. Hey, James, I see you in the chat. You were at Arrowhead? He was like, I was there. if you were there, definitely, man, give me. I need to
call
know the
in
lowdown,
tomorrow.
Bro. Definitely.
I think our phones are working. Call in tomorrow.
Wild, man. I would love that perspective. That is dope.
Rando Smalls,
Proud of
mailbag. With all the defensive line depth, could we see 1 to 2 guys traded before they get cut? This is an interesting one, and I don't know if I should share this, although I'm going to because it wasn't my idea. But should we talk about it tomorrow? Let's talk about it tomorrow. Jeff Risdon of the Detroit Lions podcast. I love Jeff. He took me under his wing along with Doc Macaroon down at the Lions facility. He threw around the idea of a possible trade, not names, with the Houston Texans. James Houston to the Texans. Texans have a plethora of wide receiver depth. They need some help behind Will Anderson. Yeah. Could there be a situation where we want one of the Houston Texans wide receivers, not named Diggs, Tank Dell, or Nico Collins, where they might want James Houston in return? It's a hypothetical. Think about it, chat, and maybe we talk about it tomorrow. I think, Stick, maybe not because you can hear. Is this a moment where we should pause and stand up? We're good?
It's not the national anthem.
Okay, what about a veterans moment of silence or something?
I don't know what they're doing over there. No, it's just Kirk Gibson highlights and stuff.
Okay.
You're good.
And we're not on the loudspeaker?
No, we turned the loudspeaker off.
Cool.
Awesome.
Let's take one more mailbag because it is about to be 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Do you see one? I'm looking. By the way,
the show just zoomed by, man. It's been a great one.
It did. I know John Effing Lord and Mike G said, could we get Martin back?
He should be a weekly guest.
He really should.
Yeah.
Mike G said, could we get another Martin versus JB segment, but let JB cook?
Yeah.
JB got roasted out of nowhere.
Dope. James said he will call in tomorrow.
Perfect.
That's dope.
Perfect.
That's dope.
Mail sack from Mike
Lions
G.
fans are sickos.
Was Flannel sad this weekend in his Patrick Mahomes onesie after our Lions smacked him?
No, he was still. I mean, that boy, he was bricked up over that behind the back pass.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear about that till the end of time. And in Flannel fashion, he wouldn't acknowledge a preseason thing until it was Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Then the victory lapping can begin.
Yes.
I'm going to ask this one to Stick. Hopefully your mailbag. Is Woodward Sports ever going to do another show in the studio, or are you just going to do different golf courses every day?
If they're paying us, we will go broadcast on the moon, sweetheart. I don't care. Like, you pay us, we'll be there. We are hookers. Like, it's just pretty much it.
Yo, James.
I mean, Randy Wise has done a great job putting together all these tournaments and all these events this year, and it's great to be at these. Some golf courses a little nicer than others to us. This one, fantastic.
Hey, James, I see you in the chat. I cannot wait for his call. You see that? He said one of the Chiefs fans told Lions fans, "Congratulations, you just won the Super Bowl."
Factual. Dante 151. Man, bro, I would have said Nico Collins for that trade with the Texans. Me too, but he's too good.
Yeah, they're not Nico Collins.
Yeah, they're not getting.
But you know what we are to Kansas City now? We're that annoying team that you should beat, but you can't. Broder, growing up, you always had that team. It's like, this team's not good. Why do we always lose to them? And then now it's a mental thing to Kansas City.
It was Lutheran North in high school, and then in actually CMU beat us a couple times in college.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
One of those things.
It's one of those things, and we are now one of those things to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's call it a day. I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of love flowing in, too. Thank you, guys,
We
man.
could go for hours more, but Kool-Aid Stick, JB, Chase, Freddie Felt 313, Jesus around here. What an incredible opportunity here.
Yeah.
What an awesome setting for this show.
And can I compliment you, too? I mean, these shows, they're chaos, right? You have a show prep planned. You have what topics you want to talk about, but then it's like Alan Trammell's available. Okay, we're talking to him. Everything goes out the window. So great job with all the interviews you guys did today.
Appreciate you,
Legendary. I know that for you to interview Tram like that is probably something special that you're going to put on the wall.
Yep.
So I got some pictures of that for you fellas, and great job just handling all the chaos that comes at you. But these events, that's what it's about, just the chaos. All the people behind you, showing the scenery, showing all the interaction, and that's why we're here. Kool-Aid, you know it better than anybody. Shaking hands, kissing babies, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, we got a strong team.
Yep.
That's what the foundation that Alan Trammell talked about. Like, this has it. Woodward Sports has it. It's why I've been bought in. I saw you and Joey at the ground level doing a lot of work at the beginning of this thing, Stick. And a lot of other people who have, like JB Smooth, like Mathieu Brodric, have just hit the ground running. And we got people like intern Chase, who has just absolutely hit the ground running. You know, so it's like it's cool to know that we got guys in the trenches while we're talking about sports We have guys in the trenches that are making these same type of commitments to each other here at Wake Up Woodward. It's a team, man.
Yes, sir. May says Woodward Sports live from a random wedding soon.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in. And Mint was one of those guys supporting me on trade deadline day.
No, we should set up to where we just broadcast from someone's house, someone's backyard.
I'm down.
We could take the morning show on the road and do someone's backyard. So if anybody in the chat right now wants us to come to their backyard and they can provide us with internet and power, those are the two things that we need.
We'll
take the show on the road.
That would be epic.
We'll take the show on the road.
Power.
Let's do it.
I feel like we should be in a trailer park, though. That would be sweet. I like the trailer park clubhouse.
Can we grill?
That's like so us.
Can we bring we can grill and everything too?
Yeah.
Hey, we can do the black barbecue.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're invited, Broder.
I made it.
You made
I made it. I'll wear my black Air Forces.
We're just going to give him the burnt chicken, though.
I prefer it. A little extra
there
cook.
you go.
I'm in. We can be the poor man's busting with the boys.
Let's rock. This has been a show. I know we're probably really loud, but I love you guys.
Yeah, let's take us out.
Right,
take us out, Kool-Aid.
Thank you guys for kicking it off with the Wake Up Woodward Crew. This has been a day, man. Chat family has been awesome. It's been engaging. You guys are hitting that like button. If you didn't get a chance to, make sure you do. Shout out to KG. And shout out to Flannel Sam, my brothers with the WUW Crew. They will be back with us in studio this week, and I cannot wait. But shout out to Stick. Got Freddie Felt from the chat 313. Intern Chase in the building. That dude, Justin, man. Stick, thank you as always, brother. Woodward Sports' MVP, JB Smooth. Our Credential Lions and Tigers reporter and writer for the network, that's Mathieu Brodric, and it's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. Your Credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. And we are at the beautiful Wingate Country Club and Golf Course for the 8th annual Kirk Gibson Foundation Golf Classic. Brought to you by Randy Wise Automotive. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Wise Automotive. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.